Hi guys and welcome. My name is Harry Kirk. I'm a digital marketing agency owner here in the UK. I also have an online educational company called the Switch Up Academy. We have clients all over the world. We were one of the first agencies before it came one of the biggest niches to go after when you started an agency, which is the cosmetic niche. So we were one of the first digital marketing agencies to go after dentists, to go after dermatologists, hair transplant surgeons. And as you can see from this case study, we got them unbelievable results. We got them over an 8x return on their investment, making them over £35,000 per month on their services through Facebook ads, funnel creation, and email marketing. We also have worked with some 7-figure brands here in the UK, which sell to Tesco, Aldi, Lidl, Morrison's, John Lewis, and we were running the digital marketing to expose their brand. And as you can see from this case study, we increased their store sales by around 2x. We really did an unbelievable job to push traffic to John Lewis's website to increase their store sales on there and just increase their digital presence. So that's just to give myself a bit of a backbone before we go into this case study, so I know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, let's get into this case study. So in this case study, we're going to go over 3 things. 1, we're going to go over what you should be doing right now to get your first client, and also what you shouldn't be doing, so what you shouldn't be wasting your time on. Point number 2 is the biggest mistakes I made when I first started my agency. So I spent around 6 months not getting any clients, not getting any results, no cash flow, no money at all. And I want to tell you those mistakes in this case study so you can avoid them when you're starting your agency, or if you've already started your agency, prevent you making them mistakes now. And finally, some tips, tricks, and techniques that you can put into place immediately after you finish this case study to get your first client. So why should you watch all 30 minutes or however long this video is going to be, 20-30 minutes long, is because I know exactly what position you're in right now, and believe me, I do. You wouldn't be on this page if you didn't either have an agency or you were interested in starting an agency, whether that be because you've recently been furloughed, you've lost your job, you're not happy in your job, or you want to start a side hustle. So you want to start bringing money, £1,000 to £3,000 a month alongside your job, or before you go back to university or college, whenever that may be. Or if you've started your agency already, you probably have sent out hundreds of emails, hundreds of phone calls, DMs, LinkedIn messages, and you're just getting no responses back. Or if you are getting responses, they're just going to be not interested, or they're just ignoring you. And I completely understand how frustrated you are and how frustrating it must be, because I was there literally not so long ago. And once you understand the things that you can do and the things you need to put in place to get clients and get them unbelievable results, these frustrations can be relieved super easily. So before we go into those 3 main points, I just want to address the state of social media currently due to the coronavirus. So believe it or not, the digital marketing world and starting a digital marketing agency has never been a more in-demand service. Because of the coronavirus, it's made business owners aware, and it's made business owners understand themselves how important and how needed digital marketing services are. Because due to the coronavirus and due to lockdown, the businesses which hadn't already made a transition to marketing their services online or having an online presence, they are the ones that really did struggle to keep their revenue coming in or adapting to the new playing field in the marketplace. And beside from the pandemic, which has been going on, I get a lot of messages on Instagram daily saying, is the marketplace too saturated? Everyone seems to be starting an agency now. And it really does frustrate me, because no, it's not. There's 30 million plus small businesses in the US. There's 5 million plus small businesses here in the UK, and countless other small businesses all over the world. And there's not that many digital marketers. Just because someone has digital marketer or e-commerce guru in their Instagram bio, 1, it doesn't mean they're successful. 2, it doesn't mean they're making money. And 3, it doesn't mean that they're ever going to make money. Because 0.1% of the people who own a digital marketing agency ever get a client, ever keep the client, and ever get that client unbelievable results and scale. So that's something you really, really do not need to worry about, and you just need to remove that from your mindset. So now we've got all that out of the way, moving on to the first point of this case study on what you should be doing right now and what you shouldn't be doing to get your agency off the ground and get your first client, which is you need to focus on money-making tasks and money-making tasks only. Do not waste weeks, and please don't waste months on creating a website, creating a logo, creating a name. Website is the biggest one people waste their money on. They start an agency and they spend months and months and months making this unbelievable website which they never use. And I know that because I did it. I spent 2 months creating this unbelievable website And then once I started to get clients and going through the prospecting process, I didn't use the website once. No client ever saw that website, because you just don't use it in your outreaching process unless you're running ads. And the strategies that I teach on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram, and in the academy, they're not to do with paid advertisements. So you really, really do not need to waste months and months or weeks and weeks on creating a perfect website. The only thing you should be focusing on in the beginning is getting clients. If you have no clients to work on currently, then the 100% of your time should be reaching out to business owners, vetting business owners, finding the correct business owners in your specific niche, which you should be going after. Just only focus on tasks which are going to push the needle, which are going to get clients into your inbox, on the phone, in meetings, for you to then sign them, because there's no point in doing anything else until you get a client. And once you get a client, then you can split your day up equally into keeping your pipeline full and giving your clients unbelievable results. So those are the things you should be doing, the money making tasks. So this is cold calling business owners, vetting business owners, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, reaching out to people on Instagram DMs, reaching out to every single business owner in your niche to prove that you're an expert and to get yourself a client. Which moves us on perfectly to the mistakes that I made when I first started my agency. But before that, I just want to go over my money-making online journey. So between 15 and 16-year-old, I was doing Shopify dropshipping, and all of these different things led me up to where I am today in digital marketing. So Shopify dropshipping, that's what I was doing between 15 and 16 years old. I had help from my parents, obviously, because I needed a bank account, and I didn't have a bank account at the time. And then moving on to 17, I used my brother's Forex account to try and make some money doing Forex trading, and I had little success with that. Shopify dropshipping, I had no success. I wasted a lot of money, and I funded this through just a weekend job at the time, and I was just putting all my money into trying to make money online because I knew it was possible. And then 17 to 18-year-old was when I started to make some sort of money online. I was making between £8,000 and £10,000 per month doing eBay to Amazon dropshipping. I'll find a product on Amazon, use the keyword system eBay had at the time. You can no longer really do this because it's against eBay's terms and conditions. List it on eBay for a higher price, use the keywording tool, and use their existing traffic. But the reason I stopped that, even though I was making £10,000 per month, that wasn't profit. It was about a 20% profit margin, and I hated the profit margins, hated the customer service, I hated the returns. It just really wasn't for me. Then I used my existing Facebook ad knowledge from Shopify dropshipping, which led me into digital marketing, what I've been doing for the past over 2 years since I started my digital marketing agency. So I've sort of tested every single way you can make money online, and that sort of led me to where I am today. And I genuinely don't think there's a better way to start making money online than digital marketing. So I've tried it all, and believe me, it has taught me a lot. So my early mistakes in digital marketing though. Number one is I spent a whole month on the website, logo, name and domain, making it super perfect. And then after that month, I realized when I was getting clients, I've just wasted a whole month of time and money, which I could have just spent on getting clients, because it was impossible for me at the start. I really struggled before I got the knowledge of how to actually get clients. And it was so frustrating. It was probably the most frustrating 6 months of my life until I got my first client, because I just didn't know, I couldn't grasp that everyone else was getting clients. And I see it on Instagram all the time, people signing these clients, but I just had no idea. I was working so hard and I just couldn't get any clients. Number two, my packages were completely wrong. I got my first client and my packages were just terrible. I was offering way too many services, wasn't pricing it right, it was taking way too much of my time up, so I couldn't get more clients. That taught me a big lesson. So packaging your services and pricing your services correctly is something you really need to get right early on, or you're gonna have to go straight back to the drawing board like I did. Number three, I let my clients bully me. I was more of an employee to them than it was a partnership between the two of us. And that's something that I've really had to try hard to implement in my agency going forward, because the whole reason I have a digital marketing agency and I am my own boss is so I'm not an employee, that I'm my own boss. And that's something that I really needed to switch up after losing my first client. full transparency, obviously I did lose my first client, I'm not going to lie. The only way to be is fully transparent, and if any agency owner tries to claim that they have never lost a client, especially in the beginning, then they're lying. There's just no way that they've never lost a client. And number 4, my outreach was literally the complete opposite of what you should be doing. I was sending out generic messages, I was sending out generic phone calls to all of these different business owners. I just continuously did it until I reached the breaking point where I just couldn't take it anymore, and I just switched up my whole agency and I started to get clients on a more regular basis. So like I just said, it all came crashing down after I discovered those things that I was doing wrong. I had to go straight back to the drawing board, and once I did, I spent literally 4 months testing every single sales strategy, every single prospecting strategy, and I watched probably every single salesperson on Instagram, on YouTube, to find out what I was doing wrong. And the number 1 clip that stuck with me is this one.
In cash, equity. But that's not, there's a jillion banks, you haven't asked enough banks. And you're 2,000 cold calls away from being a multimillionaire.
So that's billionaire Dan Pena telling us that if you make 2,000 cold calls, you'll be a multimillionaire, which is what's written behind me. So if you can see this, I've written 100 cold calls for 20 weeks equals multimillionaire. And this is a table that I use in my agency every single day. And now these numbers are made up. These aren't my actual figures. This is just for the demonstration of this case study. So as you can see, the key at the bottom, a call is written in black pen. A meeting that's created is created in orange pen, and a client is in green. So every single call, you can do this with LinkedIn messages. If you want to do 100 LinkedIn messages per week for 20 weeks, I don't know whether it still makes you a multimillionaire. I don't know if this makes you a multimillionaire, but it's something that's really helped me keep my daily sales targets and keep my targets moving forward and getting me booking meetings, getting clients on a daily basis, because this is something that helps you keep accountable for what you're doing in your agency. So every day, if you keep it on a whiteboard like this in your office or wherever you are, on a notepad or something, or on your computer, if you have it, make it into an Excel spreadsheet, it's going to be something that's going to keep you super accountable for your work. So every single call you write in black. If you get a meeting from that call, obviously we're going to go through it in a minute, that the only objective of your outreach is to get a meeting. It's not for a call. You're selling the meeting, you're not selling your services. So you go through, if you get a meeting from your outreach method, you put it in an orange pen, and then after the meeting, you can swap that orange marker to a green marker if you get a client. Then every new week, you put this number up, and then after every call, you change the calls made number. So every time you go into your office, you can say, right, we're on week 5. So 4 weeks have been, this number must be 400 plus. Otherwise, I haven't met my target, and I'm not going to reach my 2,000 cold call target by week 20. So it's a way of keeping you super accountable every single day, because if you come in and that's not up to scratch, you're going to sit down in your office and you're going to bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to come into the office that day and get that up to where it needs to be, even if I need to work until midnight that night or to the early hours in the morning. Then you can write down how many meetings you get, how many clients you get, and what your monthly income is. It's just a nice summary of your progress. And it also, if things are going wrong, if you go a week without even getting one meeting, you can look back and think, right, it does work, this strategy does work, I'm just having a dry spell and I'm going to power through that dry spell. This is something I really recommend you trying out, because it's helped me a lot, and it's just a way that you can really keep accountable for your sales targets. So that's something I just wanted to leave you with, because full transparency, this webinar is to get you to go check out the Switch Up Academy, where we go through more of this in every single aspect of digital marketing, but I'll explain that a bit more at the end. So moving on to the point 3 of this case study, which is the process of getting a client. So the 3 things you need to do to get a client. So 1 is a numbers game. Like I've just mentioned on the board, if you do those 2,000 cold calls, Dan Pena, a billionaire, reckons that you can become a multi-millionaire just through cold calls. Sales really is a numbers game. There is a strong correlation between the number of business owners you reach out to and the number of clients you're going to get. Number 2 is that all of your outreach methods needs to be super unique and personal to the business owner you're reaching out to. So each outreach method, each outreach message that you send needs to take between 5 and 10 minutes to create, because it needs to be so personal to that business owner. And yes, there are templates and skeleton messages that you can use to send out to these business owners. However, you can't just copy and paste the same message and just change the dear to whoever, because that's just not going to work. It's not going to get replies, and business owners are going to recognize it a mile off. the final one, the final point of the three pieces of the formula to get a client, you need to put yourself in the business owner's shoes. You need to act like a doctor, and you need to find out where their problems are. You need to diagnose their problems and treat their problems, rather than a happy-go-lucky salesperson. It's no longer the 1980s. It's 2020, and business owners can recognize salespeople a mile off, but because they've been sold so many times. People don't like to be sold, but they like their problems solved, and they like a genuine person who cares about solving those problems, because everyone in their business has pain that they need relieving, which is your job as an agency owner, is to relieve their getting customers problem, is to relieve that they're not getting leads problem, and to relieve that they're not making much money in their business, no matter what niche you're in. So then moving on to the process of actually getting a client. So I've put together a timeline. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this post a while back, but the process of going from a completely unknown business owner to having a signed client can be an extremely lengthy process, but it can't be rushed. You can't skip out key steps in that timeline because you're in such a hurry to sign that client. If you're in such a hurry, it's going to come off as really desperate. You're going to miss out steps. You're not going to push them down the sales funnel correctly, and you're going to struggle to sign them because they're going to think you're desperate to get their money off them. So going through the timeline, the first one is the business owner vetting. So you need to find out that the business owner you're talking to are the correct people to be talking to. Number 2 is the initial outreach method, whether that be LinkedIn, whether that be a phone call, whether that be a DM. That's completely up to you, but the initial outreach method. And then if they don't get a meeting from that initial outreach method and you don't have a good conversation with them there, you need to follow up with them. Then you need to get them on the phone to book a meeting. Then after the meeting, you can possibly have a follow-up meeting. I've put brackets optional because not all the time do you need that follow-up meeting. Then you sign the contract, then you get payment, then you have an onboarding meeting, and then finally you get them extraordinary results to keep them as clients for years to come. And the number one thing in the process of getting a client is to sell the meeting and not your services, like I've said a few times in this video. So there we have it. We've gone through 3 things how to get a client. We've gone through the things that you should and shouldn't do at the beginning, the big mistakes I made, and then we've gone through the process of finding a client as well. So I really hope you found this super useful. So what I want you to do before you click off this video, if you're watching it on my website, then click the link below, and if you're on YouTube or on any other platform, find the link in the description or a link around this video somewhere to click on the Switch Up Academy. Now the Switch Up Academy is a 6-week program which is going to take you from zero knowledge to get your first paying customers, not just one customer, of £1,000 a month. So inside the academy we have 6 chapters, 60 plus videos, 15 plus hours of video, and once you join you have lifetime access. There's no hidden fees. You pay once, you get in, and you have unlimited access to me and my team, the private Facebook group chat. You have access to unlimited other agency owners which all come together to help each other out on a daily basis for if you ever have a problem. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in and you like the style of this video, because this is the same style of videos which you're going to get in the academy, then please click on the link below. There's an 8-minute video on the website itself where I go through every single module within the course. Also all of the other extras you get in the course, so please watch that if you're interested. And that's for a price literally 50% of the other market leaders in having a digital marketing agency. So please go check it out, guys. So on behalf of everyone at Switch Up Academy, everyone at Switch Up Marketing, and more importantly myself, I really hope to see you soon and we can connect further in the academy. Have a great day, guys.